Joining us now on the CNBC Newsline is Big Technology's Alex Kantrowitz. He is a CNBC contributor as well. It's so good to have you on multiple fronts, AK, but your first reaction to this news that moved late yesterday, that Schwab's a yes, and they defended that decision with me earlier today. What do you think?
I think it points to exactly where this is going to go, which is that Elon Musk is going to get this passed. And just like his last pay package, it's extremely ambitious. For those that are balking at the $1 trillion price tag, you see that he has to get the company to $8.5 trillion in valuation and ship, and I think this is even more important, 1 million Optimus humanoid robots in order to get it. So basically the bet here is that if Elon is going to get that compensation, he's going to effectively create an entirely new and more valuable company out of Tesla than the one that he has today. So I think he's going to get it. It's probably smart to give it to him, keep him there, and see what happens.
What do you make, though, of this uprising, if you want to even call it that, among the, part of the retail cohort, which got pretty public about its threats to leave the Schwab platform, for example, if this firm didn't vote in favor? As I mentioned, Schwab says the decision was already made, that it had no influence, but it does point to some level of influence that retail thinks it has, even with big firms like this, when it comes to a company like Tesla.
Well, I think it just points to the fact that CEO pay, in general, is out of whack with where it should be, and we're seeing movements against that. We have seen movements against that. If Elon hits this milestone, he'll be paid more handsomely than any CEO ever to walk the planet. And if you're a retail investor and you're reading the headlines and just the headlines, you'd be mad. But I think when you go a level deeper, you see that if Elon reaches these milestones, he's going to have done something historic, and it's a win-win. If he hits the milestone, he gets paid, and shareholders get rewarded. And if he doesn't get paid that way. So I understand the reticence to give it to him, but ultimately he's going to get it, and it's probably for the best for him and Tesla.
I mean, it's far from a layup, too, that as we look at the award plan on the wall, we show that again, it's far from a layup that he's going to reach these high targets. I mean, what people focus on the $1 trillion. What you don't necessarily focus on is that he's got to get Tesla to an $8.5 trillion market cap, which would be 2 times NVIDIA to get there. So it's worth the perspective of this wall that we're showing our viewers now, just to give you a sense of what actually needs to happen. The other story I wanted to talk to you about was what feels like an inflection point, AK, on how AI spending and how the valuation of some of these companies are going to be scrutinized in the weeks, months, and maybe even years ahead. It was Meta on earnings, and then Palantir, and some are pointing to some other names too, on the back of what seemed to be decent reports, and the stocks went lower.
Well, it's about time that we saw a little bit of scrutiny, a minuscule amount of scrutiny around these AI names, because it just seems like Sam Altman has been waving a magic wand, and all of a sudden your market cap doubles, and that doesn't seem healthy to me. Ultimately, this is a real technology. The economics behind it are all bets that it turns into something very special very fast. And my opinion is that it's going to be something that's going to be a little bit more bumpy. There was this MIT study that showed that 95% of organizations with an AI pilot weren't getting a return on their investment, but a Wharton study just came out that said 74% are. And what that suggests to me is it's very uneven at this point. Maybe some smaller companies are seeing better returns because they're able to adapt faster, and bigger companies aren't. And all this points to the fact that anybody who's looking for instant ROI on the AI moment, it's not going to happen. I mean, OpenAI is supposed to lose $120 billion by 2029, even then, with 800 million weekly active users of ChatGPT. So it's going to be bumpy. It's not this miracle technology which all of a sudden, cures all economic ills. And that's just something investors are going to need to be patient with.